Welcome to this brand new show, Titans and Trailblazers. This is a show like you've never seen before. We'll come back right after the break. Welcome back to Titans and Trailblazers. Today, we want to start with an intriguing look at my brand new book, Social Media Marketing Management, How to Penetrate Emerging Markets and Expand Your Customer Base. Now, here's what it is. Marketing itself is not new, but marketing today is being practiced in virtual reality formats. We have things like the metaverse, we have digital first approaches. And so marketing has evolved from when it was traditionally brick and mortar, and it's now largely digital. Now, I keep telling everybody on this beautiful continent of Africa that digital alone doesn't solve problems, but it's impossible nowadays to have total marketing solutions without a conspicuous digital element. That's why we wrote this book, Social Media Marketing Management, and it's for Africa. So here's what it is. I'll just read to you the introductory part, and then I'll give you my own sense of what you need to do to really bring social media front and center into the marketing solutions you provide for your varied customer audiences. The book responds to calls for a systematic approach to understanding the transformations in the social media marketing landscape on this beautiful continent called Africa. So to narrow the focus of the book, we took a developing economy perspective. And then what we tried to do was to present a comprehensive understanding of social media practices and how these can be integrated into a firm's operational activities to create a competitive advantage. Now, in the introduction to the book, we also note that in emerging markets and developing economies like Africa, we face a lot of economic challenges at governmental level, firm level, and even people looking to make a difference through entrepreneurial activities. Now, social media is fundamentally changing the way business paradigms are conceived and are increasingly being integrated into the marketing function. So what we try to do here is that we say that by using social media technology to reach users in different market segments, such as your Facebook, your X's, and your Twitters, you can have various growth pathways for making your businesses do better than when they were operating only in brick and mortar formats. So my friend Dr. Alistair McQuena did an interesting sort of forward to the book, and Alistair is the immediate past president of Google in South Africa. This is what Alistair said. After reading what Alistair said, I'll give you my own take on what social media marketing can do for Africa, can do for West Africa, can do for Ghana, can do for private sector firms, can do for public entities, and can do for you who's listening to my editorial today. Here's what Alistair wrote. Alistair said, one of the most profound effects of digitalization of the marketing and communications discipline is the proliferation of media channels, which has been driven by an explosion of social media touchpoints such as YouTube, Facebook, X, and TikTok, amongst others. Alistair argues that as a result, social media marketing has become the de facto route to market for a lot of strategy making for marketers in contemporary modes. Another key aspect to the evolution of marketing and communications, according to Alistair, is the growth of e-commerce and social commerce across Africa, which has been accelerated post-COVID-19. This, Alistair argues, is the new battleground for the consumer's mind space. Let me repeat this. Dr. Alistair McQuena, just became Professor Alistair McQuena actually. He works at the Northwest University in South Africa. He argued in the foreword to our book that social media is the new battleground for the consumer's mind space. Alistair goes on to further argue that as the war for the share of wallet intensifies, consumers are bombarded with competing messages. He says the average consumer is being exposed to at least 10,000 messages a day. Finding the right consumer to target with the right message at the right time in that way that maintains data privacy has never been as hard as it is today. So Alistair argues finally that Maya Angelou once famously said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So our lister says that the case studies we provided in this book confirm that exceptional customer service leads to loyalty and advocacy, which is the ultimate goal of marketers. Our lister argues that you need to keep this book close to you. You have to buy copies and make it a handbook as you navigate the highly contested waters of marketing. So let me give you my own take. Africa is growing. We have seen geopolitical shifts that are leading us to become more self-sufficient in the way we deliver on the Africa promise for the teeming consumers across the continent. So I think that adopting digital approaches, the right social media marketing approaches, we have a very unique opportunity to better articulate the Brand Africa proposition. We need to use social media approaches to build a better Brand Africa proposition and promote this continent far more than we do right now. That discipline can extend to West Africa. That discipline can extend to Ghana. In Ghana, we say, according to the new government, we want to do a Black Star experience. Any tourism marketing, any nation branding effort should be underpinned by excellent social media marketing practices. In conclusion, this book, trust me, is your new panacea for understanding how digital marketing approaches can boost your productivities in private sector settings, public sector settings, and for all entrepreneurial firms across Africa. Get this book. Go to Amazon, go to the Routledge and Taylor Francis website and buy a copy. It will change the way you do marketing and introduce more dynamic approaches into your marketing routines. Get the copy now. We'll take a break at this point. When we come back, I'll introduce my first guest for the Titans and Trailblazers show. Stay right there. We'll be back soon. Welcome back to Titans and Trailblazers. And we always had the vision of delivering a Pan-African show. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome my friend from Uganda, a fellow warrior in the marketing army, David Balikuddembe. And I'll tell David to tell you about himself. David, you're welcome to Titans and Trailblazers. Please tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Prof. And very happy to have me here at Metro TV. So my name is David Balikuddembe. I'm the Secretary General of the African Marketing Confederation, the body that unites marketers across Africa. So our membership is comprised of national associations or societies, whatever they are called in their respective countries across Africa. So from Southern, Eastern, North and Western Africa, we bring together all the marketers' body to learn together, to grow together, and keep up to speed with global standards and practices. I'm also the immediate past president of the Uganda Marketers Society in Uganda, and also board chairman at Archfield Institute of Design in Uganda. Very happy to be here today.
Awesome. So marketing matters for Africa's growth, but sometimes marketers struggle to explain their relevance and how they are a key value driver for organizations in Africa. As a marketing titan, what were your experiences leading the Uganda Marketers Society? What are some key lessons you learned, and what can you share for aspiring marketers today?
Yeah, that is a very good and equally important question, because traditionally marketing was looked at as a cost center. And I think as marketers, I'll put my hand to my chest and say we are to blame, because we have not demonstrated enough our role, our place at the table of men. When the men in the boardroom are discussing numbers, in the past we have tended to shy away. We are happy to talk about awareness and likes and affinity and all these other cute terms, but not the numbers. So to answer your question straight up, it's bringing the numbers game marketing.
Absolutely.
And I think the CIM definition is straight on the money.
Absolutely.
Where it's marketing is the science, the management science that is involved with identification, identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer needs. And the last part is the most important, profitably.
Absolutely.
So as long as we talk about profit in a way that the CEO understands, the CFO understands, we'll justify our role in our function in
Absolutely.
business.
Then we'll be more relevant to the C-suite.
Exactly.
So the first time I met you was in Vic Falls when I delivered the keynote at the Africa Marketing Confederation Conference. Then you brought me back to Uganda to deliver the keynote. And this year, the conference comes to Accra. I think that's why you're in Accra. So tell us why this is so exciting and what we should expect for this year's Africa Marketers Confederation Conference.
Yeah, it's exciting to the point of shivers.
Yes,
because,
absolutely.
Because
everybody keeps asking me, Bob, we are coming to Accra. I said, come, we are waiting. Yeah.
Yes, because of what people have been accustomed to. I think it has been growing to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. You remember in Big Falls was just after COVID, beginning to regroup, had a very amazing experience at the Zambezi at Elephant Hills. Then we made a bold move to host the conference in Entebbe.
Entebbe, yes.
In Uganda.
Spoke on technology and Pan-African brands.
Yes.
That's the topic you gave me.
Yes. So, and we elevated the level, higher, and that is for the first time we held it alongside
technology guys.
So the Confederation for Technology Associations across Africa, just TICON Africa, which turned out to be very pivotal because, like you've said and like we see in your book, tech cannot be detached from marketing where we are today. So having them very close to us instead of leaving them to lock themselves behind their screens and do their thing, it's good to go with them.
Absolutely.
Because and there's a book that I'm reading. I'm happy to give it to by Professor Kochler and Hamawan Katajai about operational excellence.
Correct.
And they insist that operational excellence, operations is the new marketing front.
Okay.
Because you are an addict of customer experience.
Absolutely.
Customer excellence. So if operations is not up to the standard, there's no way you can deliver seamless customer experience.
That's correct.
So so tech and marketing to deliver a seamless experience. And then the following year, which was 2024, we went to Mombasa.
Correct.
Where amazing speakers. Professor Kochler addressed us from Chicago.
Yes.
Virtually. Dr. Katajai himself was there physically.
Indeed.
A lineup of speakers unpacking current burning topics and issues. So we can't wait for August 20th to 22nd here in Accra.
Okay.
To take it to another level.
Absolutely.
And that is why, that's very exciting, that makes me anxious, and that is why we are here early in the year to try and put together the look and feel.
Correct.
Marketers across Africa can know what to
So
expect.
if there are potential media partners and sponsors watching our show, what's unique about this conference? Why should they come and support us to put together this marketing festival, if you like?
Yeah, as Africa is becoming one market.
Correct.
In Uganda, we're talking about the $3.4 trillion that we are looking at by 2025. It's very important when you have marketing leaders from across Africa under one roof. If you have any agenda, any campaign, any product, any issue that you want to bring to the attention of the world, what better place than when you have marketing leaders from across Africa in one room.
Indeed.
So for me, that's a wonderful opportunity. But like I always like to say, it's as a media house, you know your agenda, you know your strategic plan 3-5 years down the road. So it's more about how can I leverage this community, this audience, than what can this conference do for me.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Okay. So another thing that's very important is that sometimes marketing is seen as something for private sector alone, something for entrepreneurs alone. When you take public sector spaces, how can a Ministry of Trade, how can a Ghana Tourism Authority, how can a a Kenyan promotion agency, leverage marketing to improve public sector fortunes and even national fortunes for countries across Africa? How is marketing relevant to public sector spaces?
Yeah, I think it's very key. And like the theme for this year has been just finalized, and it's thriving or winning in the evolving African market.
Okay.
Colon, then trust, trends, and technology.
Okay.
So winning in an evolving market across Africa. So the market goes all the way from the consumer market to the business market to government. You've always written about B2G.
Absolutely.
How do you market to government? So we've seen governments introduce programs that struggle, and it's because they have not been marketed properly. First of all, internal markets. Get buy-in from internal stakeholders before you can roll out to your audience. Behavioral change campaigns. We are now in the sustainability era.
Correct.
Where you and I, everyone counts what we do, what the carbon footprints, what we leave behind as individuals, as families, as businesses. So marketing has never been more important than today.
Absolutely.
In government. We've seen some of the recent elections here in Ghana, in East Africa. We've seen the recent US election.
Yes.
And it's all about branding and personal branding and marketing. Absolutely. All the way.
Absolutely.
So again, as marketers, we've not sold ourselves properly to these entities. So they've known us to be, they have relegated us to products and media and stuff like that. But I think, and in academia, I think these are areas that we need to look into in terms of, government marketing or public sector marketing.
Absolutely. Okay, so there's also a challenge around youth and marketing. Challenge around those who go to the university to study BSc marketing for 4 years, those who get a chartered marketing qualification. There was a news story trending yesterday about a certain rich man who was saying that for him, only prosperous people should teach in business schools, and that if you haven't succeeded at a business before, he sees no reason why you should be teaching in a business school. And there was a lot of contention on social media because the thinking is that PhD holders also have a place teaching. So how do we bring practice together? How do we bring industry together and more closely align it with curriculum, academia? It's an old debate. But since you are a thoroughbred marketing person, what are your thoughts on how we can make university education more practical, especially in relation to the marketing domain?
Yeah, you're lucky to have been on the 3 spheres of marketing. You've been an ad man, you've been in academia, absolutely, and you've practiced marketing.
Absolutely.
You've seen how it is, and unfortunately, the formal linear education tends to lag behind. And behind I mean behind the industry.
Correct.
So you end up churning out products into the market that are not market ready.
Indeed.
They need, so whereas the theory, the formal basic training is important. The first 1 year, the first 1 or 2 semesters in terms of philosophy, HR, accounting, and all the foundation.
Correct.
I think going into the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year, there's need to embrace an industry outlook. And case studies, actual practical scenarios.
Correct.
Instead of books of 2003,
Correct.
1995, and so I think that is very important. The other very important thing is for academicians to upskill.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
To upskill.
And stay current.
Yes, to stay current in terms of what is working currently, what has stopped, what has ceased working, so that they are, when you're teaching a Gen Z, they need to hear, because they are reading, they're saying the most downloaded application is TikTok. But in your marketing plan, in your strategy, it doesn't feature anywhere.
Correct.
That is where they buy, that is where they get references, that is where they get recommendations. So as a product, if you're not there, or as a marketer, if you're not visible there, then they are wondering what is happening.
Indeed.
They do not go to the website, they do not read newspapers. It's been proven that, they don't take breakfast, they don't read news, they don't follow news.
Indeed.
In the US, when TikTok was blocked, they called police and the telcos and said, why is TikTok not working?
Correct.
And it's been in the news for the last 1 month.
Absolutely.
So you need to go where they are.
That is it.
In East Africa, I don't know about Ghana, we have a very youthful population.
Correct.
So they are going to become they're going to drive demand going forward.
Correct.
So if you're not marketing, if you're not visible where they are, you become completely irrelevant. So I think that training needs to stay up to speed with
the market.
The market.
Okay, so we'll take a break and we'll be back very soon on Titans and Trailblazers. Stay with us. Welcome back to Titans and Trailblazers with my fascinating guest, David from Uganda. So, David, you said you have a youthful population in East Africa. And the blessing and the curse of youth is that whilst they have a lot of energy, it can be channeled into productive enterprises or into negative social enterprises. So my next question to you will be, as a marketing titan, what 3 or 4 pieces of advice can you give to African youth as they navigate their way through school, into work? What should they look out for in a world that's changing rapidly?
Okay. Number one, I think that the marketplace is becoming very specialized. In the past, you could survive, having general knowledge across a wide spectrum without necessarily specializing. Right now, it is changing very fast, where you have to be exceptionally good at something to excel. So my first piece of advice would be that get something and be good at it. I've noticed something different here in Accra, where, and like I was telling you earlier, I think the biggest industries are Christianity,
yes,
real estate, and education.
The church is big.
Church is big,
Very
big
big
business.
Yes.
So I've seen universities that specialize as deep as strategy, for example. There's a university of strategy.
And public administration.
And so you go to school to study strategy. So you become an expert of strategy. So marketing, for example, is very wide. So get a space and decide, I'm going to go into content marketing. I'm going to go into social media. I'm going to go to do influencer marketing specifically.
Indeed.
I'm going to do e-commerce. Get something and become exceptionally good at it.
Okay.
It can be
advice.
It can be as small as animation.
Indeed.
Multimedia has so many facets. But
very much.
Animation, and even within animation, you can say, me, I'm 2D.
Correct.
2D animation. Correct. Or 3D.
Correct.
That is one. So once you're good at something, especially for up-and-coming marketers, volunteer somewhere, especially in these professional communities, professional
Indeed.
circles.
Indeed.
So that because if you are a member of, for example, of Chartered Institute of Marketing in Ghana,
right,
you have a very direct chance to learn from people like yourself, right, people from my brother Kwabena, right, who have seen and done it all. These would be almost unreachable in a different setup. So get into these circles. So whichever field you are in, whether it's engineering or sales, or get in a community of sorts and be seen, be visible there. You can never know who is observing, who is watching.
Indeed.
Number 3 is that, and these are things that I've learned, I've not read in any book anywhere, but anything small that you get an opportunity to do it with everything that you have.
Like a do and die affair.
Do it like it's your last assignment on earth.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And someone will notice and call you to the table of men. So those three things for me will take you places as a youth.
Okay. Now let's talk about, you talked about the $3.4 trillion market. I remember when I spoke in Entebbe on your invitation, it was a big issue. We kept on debating it to and fro. But the question becomes, how are African countries also managing their nation brands? Because sometimes you find that the problems in DRC, for instance, will dominate CNN and Al Jazeera. A little issue in this country or that country will trend on BBC. So what will your advice be to African leaders or African governments to try and be more careful about how they manage their nation brands, their tourism? Because everywhere I go, it's a big issue. I went to Zambia after I came to you to do their keynote at their marketers conference, and it was about leveraging investment, tourism for a better Zambia. Yes, I went to Zimbabwe, same issues came up. So what should marketers do to lead the charge for branding the continent first and for branding the countries they are domiciled in? Yes.
Yeah, the truth is we've not done enough. We've not done enough to push a positive narrative, and it is two-way. One is what we spoke about earlier, that as marketers we've not sold ourselves to the public sector. So if I'm a minister of tourism, if I'm a chairman or CEO of the Ghana Tourism Association, Ghana Tourism Board, do I need skill sets of marketers? Or I can go in with my public service mindset and make announcements on TV. Entering a game park is this fee, blah blah blah.
With no strategy behind it.
With no strategy behind, and I think that is enough. The other thing has been the public sector jealously guarding their space and shutting us out as marketers because they feel this is their space. They need to guard it carefully. So I think countries that have been intentional and deliberate, like we've seen Rwanda, it has gone out of its way to brand and market the nation. They have reaped big dividends. There might be these current setbacks, squabbles with DRC, but Rwanda earns 4 times from the mountain gorillas than you built one of the most amazing conference centers across Africa.
It was right behind my office.
Yes, the stadium, the conference is connected to a Radisson Blue, to 290 hotel beds. The recently launched stadium, the airport, and stuff like that. So
you have a big, the Kigali Arena as well.
Kigali Arena as
very
well.
Famous.
Recently hosted John Legend.
Very famous.
So
yes.
it's we've seen that it pays. Why we are not doing it, I do not know. Most countries have launched campaigns and brands. We've seen, Brand South Africa, Magical Kenya.
Absolutely.
We've seen, of course, Visit Rwanda.
Absolutely.
And
I think Morocco, Egypt, some of the North African countries as well.
Yes, and campaigns like that. Because Uganda, for example, I think a few years ago, tourism was about number 4 in terms of foreign exchange earning.
Indeed.
Without any support, without any marketing and pushing at all.
Absolutely.
So if we brand and market our destinations very well,
we'll reap great dividends.
We reap great dividends as a nation, as marketers, and as Africa.
Awesome. On that note, we couldn't have ended this edition of Titans and Trailblazers on a more resounding platform. That for Africa to move forward, we need to be serious about branding and marketing the continent. There's dividend for nation branding as well. there's dividend for public sector marketing as well. So whether it's individual, country, region, continent, marketing has great potential for taking the brand Africa forward. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Titans and Trailblazers. Thank you very much, David, for coming through. It's such a pleasure to have a Ugandan brother, pleasure to have you. And for our listeners and those who watched us today, we'll come back to you again very soon with an exciting edition of Titans and Trailblazers. Stay with us. Bye.
Since its inception, producing or reproducing art or literature using impressions from plates or blocks has been a faster and more efficient alternative to handwriting or drawing, mainly when materials must be produced on a large scale. Over time, techniques like lithography, gravure, and flexography emerged, each with unique processes suited to a different kind of printing. Welcome to Appointed Time Printing Limited, where quality meets innovation and client satisfaction drives every decision. For over 2 decades, we have proudly served as a fully Ghanaian-owned company, renowned for delivering exceptional printing solutions to individuals and organizations nationwide.
So Appointed Time Printing Limited started off as a t-shirt screen printing company in the year 2003. 20 years down the line, we have evolved and diversified into several aspects of the printing industry, and currently one of the major players in the commercial printing industry in Ghana.
Our vision is simple yet ambitious: to be the most preferred printing partner offering the highest printing solutions.
So 3 things set us apart from our competitors: so innovation, quality, and reliability. For us, we believe that there should be the differentiating factor, differentiating us from our competitors.
Our mission is clear: to provide quality, affordable, and prompt corporate promotional and gift merchandise delivery.
We have vast clientele base. We deal with government, we deal with the private industries, we deal with individuals. We are all-round printing company.
In collaborating with clients and bringing their vision to light, what I mostly do is that I take absolute details from the customer. We now raise an order, send it through the necessary process, come up with samples, provide a sample for approval, and then we go ahead with the job. So that's basically what we do.
From textbooks to calendars, corporate souvenirs to outdoor signage, Appointed Time Printing consistently delivers excellence. Our partnerships with institutions like Total Petroleum, Unilever Ghana, and the Ministry of Agriculture reflect our ability to handle projects of any scale.
We have partnerships with other businesses as well. So today we have brand partnership with publishers where we're able to print for them. So today as a brand, we're able to match some top printing brands outside the country.
Let's start from election t-shirt production, vehicle branding, textbook printing, publishing, and packaging. You know, we have worked with different clients across various sectors to meet deadlines.
At Appointed Time Printing, we are not just a printing company, we are your partners in success. Our unwavering commitment to creative design concepts tailored to your specific needs, our quick turnaround times, completing orders within 12 to 72 hours, and our 24/7 customer support, whether day or night, our team is ready to assist.
Okay, so talking of a notable project, I remember we were tasked with 1 million shirts to provide within the space of 3 months. And we were having like 5 different designs to handle at a go. And the question is, what did we do? Okay, so we leveraged on our expertise and embarked on strategic process to meet the challenge head on.
We bridged the gap between our production staff and the main administrative staff. This fosters unity, and it fosters a good working environment among our staff.
Sustainability is becoming more and more popular in the printing sector. The goal of eco-friendly procedures and tools is to reduce environmental impact.
As part of our sustainability initiative programs as an organization, we do appoint and promote sustainability champions to lead and promote green initiatives in the organization. We do recycle the waste paper into tissue papers and toilet rolls, etc. The other side is the production, which we have the dyes where we dispose them off.
With more than 20 years of professional experience, Appointed Time Printing has become a household name in commercial printing, corporate promotional merchandise, and private event souvenirs. Our commitment to excellence is backed by state-of-the-art machinery, including security printing equipment and a robust quality assurance system, ensuring every product meets the highest standards.
Technology is what is driving us in whatever we do here, and we view technology as a tool that is propelling us to the next height of our corporate ladder.
Both digital media and traditional printing methods are very significant depending on the communication needs. So traditional printing methods are very pivotal with improved technology. So depending on the kind of technology you use for your printing, traditional printing does not become obsolete.
Printing is evolving over the years. If you look at toners now, we have moved from the liquid toners to powder toners. That should tell you how fast the speedway of technology is moving in the printing industry. So for us here, we pride ourselves in sustainability and empowering our employees with the latest technology updates and training so that they can rise up to the changing needs of the industry. This has differentiated us in so many ways by what we do here with our packaging department, boasting of the latest die cutting technology and the glue solution to deliver superior food boxes, pharmaceutical boxes, and cosmetic boxes.
At Appointed Time Printing, we specialize in a broad spectrum of services, including commercial offset printing for large-scale projects such as magazines, newsletters, and posters, digital and security printing for on-demand needs like annual reports, brochures, and value books, helping businesses to minimize inventory costs.
For us as a brand Appointed Time, we have carefully developed our product portfolio within the past 20 years to stay very relevant within the market.
Advanced screen printing for unique promotional items like t-shirts, mugs, and keyrings, crafted with attention to every detail. Large format printing for impactful banners, office branding, and signage using the latest UV LED flatbed technology. Digitized embroidery for premium corporate uniforms and giveaways like polo shirts and caps. And custom packaging solutions tailored for pharmaceutical, food, cosmetic, and beauty products.
When it comes to quality and reliability, Appointed Time has delivered that for the past 20 years. And one of the reasons why we are still pressing on as a printing company over 20 years in Ghana.
The journey of printing technology has continuously evolved from Gutenberg's press to today's innovative machinery. Driven by technological breakthroughs, modern printing equipment embraces automation, sustainability, and integration with digital solutions. The future promises further strides in innovation, opening the door to a printing environment that is more technologically flexible, adaptable, and sustainable.
So 20 years of existence in the printing industry, We believe that this has been possible by the dedicated employees we have through the power of innovation, sustainability, and empowerment.
Every service we offer is designed to exceed expectations, ensuring our clients receive the best value for their investments.
From all of us here, we want to say thank you, Ghana, for supporting us to this height.
Let us all make a lasting impression. Contact us today on 0501 454 163 or 0302 689 706 and experience the difference with Appointed Time Printing, your trusted partner in printing solutions.
Jesus Christ loves you, and greater love hath no man. Because of his love, he opens the way. He opens eyes, ears, and minds. Open your heart and experience General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and feel his love. Greater love.